everyone, it's Lo by Custom Creations by Lo. I'm a little behind on doing some of my unboxings. So today I figured I would do my recent 2 orders combined from laursartcorner.net. Again, I'm kind of behind on them. So I do apologize, Miss Laura, but we're going to do it today. I'm going to start with my most recent order that I placed at her Christmas sale. And I'm not going to set the box up here because it's a fairly large box, about this big, and I wouldn't have any room to set the product. So, with that being said, I hope everybody's doing great today. I hope that your new year has started right. And I want to thank all my subscribers, all my new subscribers. Thank you for coming here. Thank you for watching the videos. So let's get on with our orders. Okay. So out of the most recent order, I ordered her snail mold. Isn't that cute? It's fairly large. Now, I'm not going to open it right now because that'd be a lot of crinkling noise, but you can see that it is a snail, and it's going to be super cute once it's poured. The next thing I got was, I've already opened this. Oh, so sorry. But I bought 2 of these silicone mixing cups. Each one of them holds 2 cups, or 500 milligrams, or 16 ounces. So you have all your measurements there, very easy to see, very nice quality. And again, I ordered 2 of these. I also ordered this candle mold. Has a little holder, it's a heart shape with a tea light holder. So when we pour that, we'll have a nice little candle holder. And let's see. There it is. There's my second mixing cup. I knew I had it. I had opened them. So let's just set it right there. Okay. So I ordered a bunch of Octopus Inks from Miss Laura as well. I ordered the peppermint, which is the Octopus ink. Obviously, it needs to be shaken. Like I said, it's been here upstairs pretty much since it arrived. But isn't that going to be pretty? So that's the peppermint, the Octopus Fluid Alcohol ink. The next color is Midnight. And Opaque Blue Moon. And again, all of these are the Octopus inks. And Enzian, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but it looks like it's a very deep blue. And Swimming Pool. I've seen a lot of people use this one. It's kind of a greenish color. So I thought that would be really pretty. And then let's see. I also ordered some glitters. I ordered the and inclusions, Fantasy Snowflakes. Aren't those pretty? Some Merlot Mica, right up my alley. Got the wine name. Those are going to be really gorgeous, and I'm thinking I may be using those very soon. And then I also ordered some glitters. I got the maple leaves, which is kind of hard to see in here. Let me see if I can open it up without it going everywhere. There you go. See that? Isn't that pretty? The little maple leaves. Excuse me. My nose is running. We also, well, I should say, I ordered some French pink marble glitter. I'm doing this over the box, so if any falls out there. There is the pink marble. And yes, it did fall out on there, so I'm glad I am doing it over the box. And then another glitter was the silver pink marble. Let me see if I can open it without making a major disaster. Oh yeah, look at that. Isn't that going to be pretty? So pretty. My 2 free gifts for my Christmas order were 2 more of the wonderful magic scrapers, which they were here in the box, and now they get glitter on them, but I'll clean them off, so I'm not too concerned about that. Set them there, so I'm not getting it everywhere. Got it on my fingers. Oh, that's fine. We'll clean it. I also ordered some Color Passion Blue Interference powder. See that blue color in there? It's a large jar. And I also ordered a few, sorry, I'm trying to get this stuff out so I don't get any more glitter on me. I ordered some Scarlet Red. Mica powder. Look at that color. Imagine this with that candy apple blossom. And I ordered both the silver and the gold pigment by Aerodron, I guess. And one's pale gold and one is silver. Those are going to be really pretty. It's like liquid metal. And then last but not least for this order, I also ordered some Rose Pink Glow. I love the blue jar, by the way. So you really can't, I mean, you can kind of see the shimmer on that, but wait until we use it. That's what I'm excited for. So, let me grab a wipe real quick. All right. Just going to wipe off my fingers before I get this glitter everywhere like I've already done. And I'm going to wipe off these spatulas. Thankfully, since there's no resin on it, see, came right off. Get this one done. All right. See, ditto. And I'll wipe it off my silicone mat here. That's just a little hard to get off, but no worries. We'll get it all off. My only problem is finding a place to put all these wonderful new goodies. All right, that's good enough for the moment. Okay, so again, that was the first box that I ordered that I had. Well, my most recent one, the first one I've ordered from her, but it is my most recent one from her wonderful and awesome Christmas sale, which was really nice. She did a wonderful job, as always. So thank you, Miss Laura, and thank you to the hubby for helping her. So let me set this down here beside me so we can look at the other stuff. Trying to make room so I can put all that into my, whoopsie daisy, storage thing over here. Well, I don't think they're all going to fit, but for right now, we're going to pretend they do. Because I need them not in my way. We'll put the glitters here with my other glitters. Maybe they'll fit. And then we'll put these packs up there. And I'll have to figure out where to put the rest of my alcohol inks here that I bought. There we go. I'll put away. All right. So, let's start on a order I had gotten from her. It's been a couple months back, but it's been fairly busy. Like I said, I'm sorry I've delayed, but without further ado, let's go ahead. So this was, I think, my very first order with Miss Laura. Did not regret anything, obviously, because I bought some more. And she always packages things really nice, so you don't have to worry about spillage. Love that. Let's use that tape right there. Get the rest of that glitter off. Oh, that was handy. I know, Jeannie B, you're probably thinking the same thing. All right. So these were her part of her Love series glitter. This is the Young Love, which is the purplish color. Isn't that gorgeous? And then this is the Baby Love. I wanted to make sure I got some of that before she sold out of it. Look at that, y'all. I know you've seen others using it and everything, but isn't that pretty? And then I'm going to be shining today. And here is, ooh, the Young Love. Glad I had a paper towel underneath that. I am going to see if I can get, you know what, I'm not. All right, got most of it, so that's those two. Let's see if we can put them in with our glitters. Almost. Didn't quite close all the way, but it'll be fine. Just going to take a second, I hope you don't mind, and get up this remaining glitter and a little bit that I just spilled. Along with the hair, apparently. All right. There we go. All right. So when I placed this order, Miss Laura did send me a few things. I ordered this mold, which I think I may do today. It's a jar mold, which I love jar molds. But this is the bottom of it, and I know if you look at her website, you'll see it, and this is the lid, and it sets just like that. That is going to be super pretty. So that was one. And I also ordered another of the starfish molds because I only have one. These seem to be very popular, and it's always a pain to make one and then have to wait. So this way, I now can make two of them at one time. And I think that is it. She did send me a few other molds that I, you know, as a gift. So those we'll be making one day. She asked me, you know, just to keep those to myself, so I shall. Not because there's any dealings going on or anything like that, but I respect her request. So there we go. So and when I did this order, that's also when I had ordered the don't want to misspeak. I think it is the it was the grape juice Octopus Ink I had ordered, and the vanilla and grape juice, which was in with this order. All right, so like I said, I think I'm going to make this mold today, this jar mold, just because I'm eager to see what it looks like. And I'm going to go heat my resin and stuff up, and I'll bring you back once it's mixed up so we can kind of pour this. I don't know how many ounces this will take. I'm thinking it's going to be at least, maybe I'll mix up probably 5 ounces. That should be enough. If not, we'll mix up some more. But if I have extras, then I'll have extras. So I'll be back in a few minutes with the resin mixed up. Let's talk to you soon. All right, everybody, I've got the resin mixed up. I just sprayed down the mold with some 99% alcohol. And the colors that I decided to use was the Octopus Ink Blue Moon. I added just 1 drop of the Octopus Ink Indian because I wanted just a little deeper blue. And then for the other cup, I used the swimming pool. So, and I think I'm going to add just a few drops of my Rainbow Marabou alcohol ink in here into the swimming pool. Just a little bit. Yeah. Not a whole lot, just a little bit. All right, let's see if I can get that back on there. That should be good. I'm just going to take my little stick here, which Laura from laurasartcorner.net had graciously sent me this with my very first order with her. Now I'm hoping that I can get these in kind of marbled. They have gotten a little thick. I ran them through the debubbler once I put the color in them. They were already warm from where I'd heated them up. And then, of course, putting them in the debubbler warms them up even more. Try not to stir any more bubbles in there. Just wanted to get that mixed in. I should have done it before, but I didn't. Let's get that wiped off. Just with some 91% alcohol, because I don't use the expensive stuff to clean up unless I happen to run out of the cheaper stuff, which thankfully I haven't had to yet. So that's good. All right, so isn't that pretty? The swimming pool with that marabou, and then this is the 2 blues. As you can see, they are getting a little warmer. I am going to check and see how warm they are, because I think the warmer they are, the better they will do as far as not mixing. Let me put that on Fahrenheit. There we go. So this one's at 106. That one's actually even warmer. Okay, there we go. Okay, so that should be good. All right. So let me just squish in that alcohol, because I want to make sure we get these little points down here good. And then we're just going to just a little bit at a time. So I used what left of my Bond Craftor epoxy that I had in the small bottles. It was exactly 8 ounces, 4 part A, 4 part B. So I am now out of that little bottle. Now before I go any deeper with this one, I am going to make sure I squeeze these down here because I don't want no bubbles in there. This still may mix together, which, you know, if it does, it does. We'll see. All right. Hopefully we have enough. Looks like we will. All right, now we're going to do the same thing with the lid. You squeeze the bottom of that. So there comes some bubbles out of there. That's good. This is real kind of soft mold. As you can see, you have to be careful that you don't squeeze it too much. So, get rid of those. See if we can get them out. Where's my little dotting tool before we pour the rest of this? This may be just enough resin, y'all, which would be awesome. I did have some, another mold or two set out just in case we had extras. And we might have just a little tiny bit, but it's not going to be much. As you can see, I'm going to need to prop that up before I go any further. Fudgesicle, I just spilt it. Let me see if I can get that up real quick. See what I mean about it being so soft? The sides of it are just soft. Thankfully it's on a paper towel, so we should be good on that. Okay. And let's go ahead and stick one underneath this side too. There we go. That should be good. Oh, y'all see how that bulging out? I'm going to put something behind there. I just have to find out what. Let me get this finished pouring here. Nope, it's bulging on both of those, so. All right, let me see what I've got that I can set up there. I can set this. That's too much. I know what I can do. I need me some water and put in here. Sorry, folks, I had to step away to go to the bathroom around the corner to get these cups with water. So let me move this little bit of resin that's left because I don't think it's going to fit in there. And let's see, this is the bigger cup, so we'll put it kind of like that. I don't think that's going to work, y'all. It's not tapered enough. Let me think about this for a second. I don't like this because it's got glitter on it, and it's too much. Here we go. Okay. Not had to do this before, so not had one that I've had to prop, fortunately. That's not gonna work. I'm gonna move this one over if I can. There we go. Okay, I think that's got this one. But I don't have anything that kind of tilts. Let me think on it. Let's see. I need something to sit in there. Let's take the water back. And give me a second. I'll come up with something, I promise. Here we go. I need to take a little bit out of there, I think. Well, I make a mess everywhere. think that'll work. Just wondering about this side, if I need to do anything to it. That it would have, didn't I? Sure did. Sure enough did. All right, so let's see, do I need anything else? Might need something on that one. It might be okay. All right, so what can we put this leftover resin on? It's not a lot. You know what? We're going to try this flower mold I have over here that came in a pack from my brother. Curious to see how and if it will work, because it's definitely not made for resin. And you can see it's really, really squishy and really in there. But it's extra resin, so what do we have to lose, right? We're going to put a lot of alcohol ink in there. Not alcohol ink, but alcohol. Just because this thing will probably be riddled with bubbles. Alright, so what I'm going to do is just, oh man, y'all see how fast that started curing up? I'm just going to drop it down in there. Having to play around getting those molds situated. Alright, so we'll set that there for right now. Put that one there because we're going to do some squishy squish on this flower. And I think we can get that in there. Bubbles in that. I'm just going to take my dotting tool here and just kind of go around this thing. This is a disaster in the makes. Alright. Oh, goodness, my nose is itching. That was too much. Way much. Ugh. These kinds of pours I hate. Really do. All right. Oh, goodness, my nose is itching. All right, we're going to leave this one just as it is. We're going to set it out of the way. And there's going to be all kinds of bubbles on this sucker. Oh, well. Probably shouldn't do that, but I did it anyway. All right. Let me see if I can find a little tiny mold real super fast. So I'm going to try this little jewelry pendant thing I had made. Well, for a pendant. Since this is so thick, that's why I'm doing that. This is a mold that I made. Gosh, I'm making a mess today. Little holographic butterfly. We might have enough to fill it up. We may not. I don't know, but we are going to try. Just enough. Just enough. got some major cleanup to do, don't I? Okay. Get this stuff out of my way. Set that there. Kind of like so, so it's not leaning. Oops. All right. All right, everyone. So I'm not going to sit here and make you watch me clean all this up. I will see you back when it's time to demold. Have a great rest of the day. Bye. Hey everyone, it's Lo. We're back for the demolding of our jar, our flower, our pendant insert, and holographic butterfly. So we're going to start with these three first. I have went ahead and cleaned all the molds off. I am concerned about the lid to the jar because it did kind of go a little sideways, but I may try heating it up, seeing if I can kind of maneuver it. I don't know that I'll be able to, so I may have to re-pour it again and come up with a different method of, you know, holding it. But anyway, so let's go ahead and get these three done. We will start with the little pendant mold. This is a mold I made. Let's see. It's very easy to demold, as you can see. And a little trimming up, well, peel that off with my nail. And there's our little moon face pendant, or what will be in a pendant. I'm thinking, I had a thought the other evening that maybe one of the round bezels that I already have, these may fit in there. I don't know. So we'll set that there. The next one we are going to do is the holographic butterfly. Done this one quite a few times. It's a great extra mold. I poured this one when, you know, the resin was kind of thick. So we'll see how many bubbles we get. Maybe none, maybe a lot. I like that sound. Got a bunch of overpouring, I can tell you that right now. All that'll have to be trimmed off, but you know, it's got a few little bubbles in it, but not too bad. What do you think? Can you see it reflecting? Yeah, I'll be able to take something, just peel that off just like so. It's super thin, so yeah, so that won't take much at all. I'm not going to sit here and do that on camera. But yeah, and then we'll paint it up and see how pretty we can make it. So that's that mold. Now, I'm super curious about this. I would say like a chrysanthemum, well, I can't even say the word, chrysanthemum flower. I don't know. I could be totally wrong. It could be a carnation. But let's see how it comes out. Ugh. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to like this mold. I mean, it's coming out pretty easy. Hopefully you know, it is a matte mold. A little piece right there. I don't know, maybe it's not even a flower. Yeah, I don't know about this mold. It's interesting inside. Those that didn't watch the beginning of the video, this is the mold. Let's see what it turned out like. Kind of nervous. Judging from the sides, you know, like I said, it is pretty matte. Okay. Not as bad as I was thinking it would be. What do y'all think? Take a marker, maybe color it some. I mean, it's very textured like, or flat, you know, rough. But I could see where, you know, it could be used on top of something, or even just as a, what do you call it, magnet, or maybe even a handle. It's interesting, though, that I was trying to look and see if you notice the outside here, this kind of squarish, well, not squarish, but it looked like it was pushed in, and this one does as well, this side here. But that's the way the mold is made, so what do y'all think? Interesting. Wonder what it would be like if it was just clear resin, you know? Very interesting. All right, let's get to the main pieces. I guess we will do the lid first. It should be very easy to demold. A little bit of overpour there. At least the sides of it will be. Don't know about this handle. A little bit of over trim there. Have to trim it. Whew. All right. Ready? Ta-da! I like how those two colors did. The blue is kind of the center, and then that green with the Marabou Rainbow Sparkle is like on the tips. It's very pretty. Got a little trimming here to do, which I can do that with the deburring tool. That's the bottom. That's actually really pretty. We'll see how it works on the jar. Put like a little rhinestone, you know, at the top maybe, and around here. I don't know. I'll have to think about that and see what I want to do. But it's very pretty. And if you look real close, hopefully you can see it. Y'all can see that rainbow marabou in there, that alcohol ink. Hopefully you can anyway. Okay, let's get the box done. Excuse me. So easy this is going to be. So let's take a little bit of 91% alcohol here. Get the sides loose, I guess, first. So we get down in here, because that's going to be, I think, where it's going to be kind of, you know, tough to get loose. Sorry, I'm going to put this here up against me. See if we can get that loose. Maybe. Maybe not. Let's see if we can roll it down on all the sides. Or not. Oh my goodness. Alright, we're going to do it like that. Now that might work. Get it all broke loose. Now let's try that. There we go. There we're coming. Now it's coming off. Just twist your center. Get our mold folded back correctly. There we go. Good bean. All right. Here we go. Oh. No bubbles on the sides. I can see both colors. Oh, isn't that pretty? Oh, let's check our tips because I worked really hard to make sure I squeezed all those. What do y'all think? Isn't that pretty? You can see both colors. It's a very light kind of marbling. You can see the rainbow, Marabou rainbow sparkles in there. It's just alcohol where I sprayed. So now the real test is our lid on our jar. That turned out really pretty. Well, it is a little off kilter. Let me get my deburn tool and get that little edge off. See if that helps any. Probably have to sand this side a little bit so we can cover up that mark. All right, let's try it now. That helped. Okay, it's not perfect. So it's pretty good like that. Yeah, it's not perfect, but I don't know if I can. I don't want to heat this up because it's actually pretty close to perfect. But you see, you can see how this kind of, it's not totally square. It kind of comes like you know, whoop, swoop. I mean, I could trim it down quite a lot. But it's pretty. What do y'all think? Cute little jar. Sits that way the best, so. All right. So I'm going to pause you for a minute while I debate about what I want to do with these goodies. And I'll come back here in just a few. Hold tight. Hey, everybody. So I am going to finish these in a time-lapse or fast-forward, whatever you want to call it. I've decided I am going to do a couple of rhinestones on this one. Probably paint this butterfly up with a marker, maybe. This one, I'll probably do the same, take a marker, see which one I like, and just do the tips of it. And then my suspicions or my thoughts were actually right. I do have some of these silver bezels. I actually have them in gold and bronze. But I think this is going to look best in silver. Look, these pieces fit perfectly in there. Like they were made for it. This is the original bezel that the piece came with. I just pried it apart. It has like little crown edges, but I've tried making this bezel a mold. I am going to see if I can find some online. I haven't really looked yet, but the mold, it just comes out too thin and not strong enough. So I'm going to disregard that thought. But yeah, so this is the original piece as I purchased it. Took it apart like so. And I made a mold of that, and then I made a mold of this. And if you haven't seen those videos, these are the other ones that I have made with that. They come out really well each time. And yeah, so you can see, hopefully y'all can see those little moon faces. I'm going to use the one we made the other day, or yesterday, I guess it was. But first I'm going to, I think I'm going to take some UV resin, maybe with a little bit of the Marabou Rainbow Sparkle, and just to kind of shine it up some so it will be even prettier. So let me get my light ready to go over here, and gloves, because y'all know I am highly allergic to the UV resin, and I don't want to take any chances. Get a pair of gloves, and then we'll get started mixing some up. A little cup here. Y'all, I don't know about you, but when I use these little cups, you know, I'd kind of break them apart thinking, okay, I got one. But if you look close enough, like this looks like it's 2. But it's actually 4. So be wary of that. I don't really like these cups because of the ridges, but they are very handy for, you know, doing something like this. So again, I'm going to put you on a fast forward, or not a fast forward, but a time lapse, so you don't have to sit and watch me do this, because I'm not the fastest at doing this kind of finishing stuff. So give me a second and we will get you going. Hope you like.
You don't need to. You don't need to. You don't need to fall, but you own you. You don't need to fall, but you own in your own soul. You don't need to fall, but you own you. You don't need to fall, but you own in your own. You don't need to fall, but you own you. You don't need to fall, but you own in your own soul. You don't need to fall, but you own you. You don't need to fall, but you own you. You don't need to fall, but you own you. You don't need to fall, but you own in your own soul. You don't need to fall, but you own you. You don't need to fall, but you own you. You don't need to fall, but you own in your own soul. You don't need to fall, but you own you. You don't need to fall, but you own in your own. You don't need to fall, but you own you. You don't need to fall, but you own in your own soul. You don't need to fall, but you own you. You don't need to fall, but you own in your own soul. You don't need to fall, but you own you. You don't need to fall, but you own in your own soul. You don't need to fall, but you own you. You don't need to fall, but you own in your own soul. You don't need to fall, but you own you. You don't need to fall, but you own in your own soul. You don't need to fall, but you own.